I think as a group, we've sort of struggled to get the phrase or the term M2M, first off, defined. It used to be machine to machine, man to machine, mobile to machine. My friend Steve Pazel in the back from Enphase, formerly now Qualcomm, used to start a lot of presentations by saying, well, this is what the definition of M2M is. It's this, it's this, it's this. So we've sort of expanded the definition, or it all be sort of accepted what it actually does on a technology side. I'm wondering if the whole M2M phenomenon will sort of become quietly ubiquitous, or if it'll be pulled up by smart grid and by association with smart grid, by association with clean tech. These are things that will rise it up. Will it ever be clean tech, smart grid, M2M, or will it always sort of be the enabling part of all these other things, still looking for definition within the marketplace?
And there's lots of examples, and I can give you one. All my research and my PhD dissertation was in a field that everybody was enamored with back in the late 80s. It was called artificial intelligence. Okay, and if you remember, artificial intelligence had a huge boom, went through the winter period, and then it came into its own market. But what you don't realize, most people, is that artificial intelligence is actually embedded into a tremendous number of devices and things out there. My belief is that M2M is probably very similar to that, and that is that it will become embedded into all kinds of different opportunities, consumer devices as well as industrial devices. And my belief also is, like many markets, that there's an awareness factor that basically breaks it out into a huge opportunity. And the awareness factor is usually consumer driven. And GPS devices inside your phone and inside your car is probably one of those types of sensors that will create an awareness, another awareness, or devices like the Kindle and others. But if you look at the kinds of things that AT&T is doing relative to the consumer market and the enabling that they've been talking about relative to the consumer market, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in that market space and how it really flows over to the industrial side of the M2M technology.
I personally don't see how the smart grid will float all boats here. I think that they're all such distinct, separate verticals with different customers in different industries that if smart grid is a big boon, it's a specific sector of M2M that will do well and benefit from that. But I don't think that will translate into telematics or into fleet management or into hospital care. I think that there's two distinct customer sets, and I personally don't see the linkage there.
Well, I don't think anything ever in life is a silver bullet, but I do think that what I'm seeing, and I've been in this clean tech, smart grid, I've heard about smart grid now for about 10 to 12 years, so I'm a very skeptical investor in this space, but I think I do think that what we're going to see now, the tipping point has occurred in my view, of a convergence of factors from energy independence or less dependence on oil, a move to energy efficiency, carbon cap and trade, so reducing our carbon footprint, also, government incentives as well as government spending. I think more important than the stimulus is actually some of the other mandates that are going to be coming along in terms of tighter building controls around energy efficiency, carbon cap and trade, which is going to drive energy efficiency further. All of these things are converging now to basically revolutionizing our power industry, which, if you look at where power and electricity is, it's where telecommunications was 25, 30 years ago. And it's kind of flabbergasting that we live in the world we do with a very dumb, unmodern electrical grid. So I think we've reached a tipping point, and this is going to carry a lot of connectivity enabling technologies, whether the companies I've invested in don't talk about M2M at all. If you talk to them, they are using M2M to drive huge benefits to their customers in energy efficiency. So I do think that the opportunities for growth for companies in this space is truly significant now, with the whole bringing the electrical grid in our power sector into the 21st century and making it digital.
I just add a quick comment. I think I'm actually more worried that the stimulus package could be disruptive and damaging to the overall growth of this marketplace for a couple of reasons. The first is we're in the business of enabling smarter solutions, across the board, whether it's been clean tech or smart grids or whatever. There's going to be a lot of investment put into these areas. Many of them are not going to pan out for a variety of reasons. Some of them, I think Diane mentioned, that they just take a very, very, very long time to go to the marketplace, and the investors just run out of runway, quite frankly, run out of patience. We've had very few investments in this industry that have been that have had successful exits. Those that have largely been acquired by a competitor or someone who wanted us to take them out of the marketplace to stop the market being spoiled. That's hardly an exit strategy. In the meantime, you go and do things for a stimulus reason, not for fundamentally sound, long-term, sustainable business reasons. It lasts for as long as the stimulus lasts for, and then it stops. And so I would strongly discourage folks to be building business models around this near-termism that these kind of programs could bring to the table.
Below. It's down on the street and just trying